Hello, everyone. It's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to talk about the rainbow. So, as you know, June was set aside to celebrate Pride Month, which is a time that they celebrate, LGBTQ LMNOP community. However, the month of June is also Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but nobody talks about that. Anyway, so for years, the rainbow has been used to represent, the Pride Month, the LGBTQ community. But nobody takes the time to ask why, of all the things that could have been used, why the rainbow, when the rainbow was God's rainbow. Because he said in Genesis, let's go in Genesis 9, and we're going to start at 11. It says, "Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth." Verse 12, "And God said, this is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations." That means for generations to generations. Verse 13, "I set my rainbow in the clouds." That was God's rainbow. "And it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth." Verse 14, "It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud." Verse 15, "And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh." Verse 16, "The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth." Verse 17, "And God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth." And he said that several times. The rainbow is a sign of his covenant. Every time he sees the rainbow, when it's raining, it's a lot of rain, and then the rainbow appears. The rainbow always appears. It's nothing that causes it to appear except for when it rains. And then God remembers, no, I'm not going to destroy the earth, even though it was destroyed because of all the wickedness that had happened. We say, this time I'm not going to destroy all of the earth. And as we know, many times a lot of movements are started because, especially when it's something in the Bible that makes them upset, and then there's a movement that starts. Because the Bible said it's my rainbow. God said that was his rainbow. But the rainbow is being used to celebrate who you are in love with, who you sleep with. That's what it is. That's what it is. But nobody has ever questioned, okay, where did this come from? Maybe there is, historical background. Where did this come from? Why was the rainbow chosen? I haven't seen it. If you know where is that information, please pass it on. But foundationally, from the beginning, the rainbow was God's covenant. It is not only that. When you go to Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 28, because I was like, I'm going to read Ezekiel. Ezekiel is not easy to read, but I was like, I accept the challenge. I am going to read Ezekiel, and I'm still on chapter 1. I've been on chapter 1 for like a week. It's not easy to understand because when you read certain stuff in it, and you be like, what was Ezekiel doing? But after adding, praying, and adding different tools, commentary, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have read Ezekiel. I never understood it like this. Just like some people may think that they were creatures. Yeah, they are creatures of God. They were God created beings, but they were angels, actually. But anyway, so Ezekiel 1 verse 28, it says, like the appearance. Should I start in 27? Let's start in 27. So also from the appearance of his waist and upward, I saw as it were the color of amber, with the appearance of fire all around within it. And from the appearance of his waist and downward, I saw as it were the appearance of fire with brightness all around. So Ezekiel is describing God, the appearance of God. It was not actually God, but the appearance of him, because you really can't see God because of his holiness. And say, like the appearance of a rainbow in a cloud on a rainy day, so was the appearance of the brightness all around it. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of God. So the rainbow was also compared to the glory of the Lord. So the glory of the God, the theophany of God. Theophany means literally a showing or appearance of God. So Ezekiel compared this to like a rainbow. And now, for years we have done this. We have done this because people have put it out there, and then a lot of people have not said anything. So this was God's covenant to the earth, his promise. And then Ezekiel, who was a prophet, who was a watchman of Israel, when he had a vision, he saw the glory of the Lord as a rainbow. He compared it to a rainbow. And it's like years, they've celebrated Pride Month, but for some reason this year is different, in a sense, like how I feel. It's like you really want to stick it to God. It's very heartbreaking. It's very heartbreaking, because if it was, another community or something else that used a particular symbol, and now that symbol was used by another group or another movement, everybody would be upset. Everybody would be upset from the day that they put it up. But for years, Christians, we have, especially the ones that have bigger platforms, really have not said a lot, and really have not stood upon no. Okay, if you want to love who you want to love, if you want to be with who you want to be, that's on you. But why take something out of the Bible that God said is his? Why do that? That's rebellion. That is rebellion. And all of us has rebellion in our hearts. And the Bible tells, when rebellion is in a child's heart, what to do. And then rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. And in our rebellion, God sends, like Ezekiel. He told Ezekiel, I'm going to send you to these people. They're not going to listen to you. But afterwards, they're going to know that prophet was among them. But they're not going to listen to you, because they're hard-headed. They stiff-necked. So you're hard-headed, stiff-necked. Say, nope, that's the rainbow is ours now. It's not for God. It's what we're going to use. And then God in his mercy is telling them, no, you're not supposed to do that. But nobody's listening. But we need to remember, God is abounding in mercy. He has a lot of mercy. He's slow to anger. He's slow to anger. Does not mean he doesn't get angry. He's slow to it, because he knows our rebellion, the things that we do in our rebellion. He talks to us. He sends people to talk to us. You go someplace and he addresses your rebellion. He does it over and over again, because he knows when it's time to pay, you won't be able to pay it. That's why he's telling you, change your ways, change your ways. But nobody's listening. And then there are further more verses that talks about the rainbow, which is God's rainbow. But this, when I was reading Ezekiel, I never saw that before. I was like, wow. I never saw it before, because I really couldn't understand, because I got stuck on the 4 angels that made a square and their wings were catching together. I was stuck on that. So a lot of stuff just passed over my head. But I was like, wow, so God's glory was compared to a rainbow. And now the rainbow is being used to represent who you love. And then, there, most recently, I found out about rainbow babies. Now that I could understand, because that's similar. It's similar because, what is a rainbow baby?
Do you know what a rainbow baby is? A baby born after a loss is called a rainbow baby. 1 in 4 women experience a loss. They are the rainbow after a really difficult storm.
So now how the rainbow is being used in this context with a baby that comes after a miscarriage or several miscarriage, because having a miscarriage is very, very difficult. And especially if you have had several, you're thinking that it's going to be very difficult. Each time I have one, it's going to be very difficult for me to have kids. And then when you finally are able to have a child, whether you have different medical procedures, in prayer and changing your diet, whatever the person done, and then then you have a baby, then that gives you hope, like, whew, I went through all this dark time, and now this baby has come in. It has given me hope, just like, whew, we went through this dark time. Well, no of them went through the dark time, and God says that He will not let this happen to the whole earth, So at least that is similar in context, because it's a baby. You know how God considers little kids and babies. It's like anybody if you do anything wrong to them, you take yourself out. Just take yourself out if you're gonna do something wrong to these little kids. But now how it's being used, I'm saying, what is the cost? What will be the cost? Because God has been giving us chances and chances and grace, because of Jesus Christ, we're under grace. Certain stuff, long time when you used to do certain things, right away you paid for it. But because of the blood of Jesus Christ, even when the wrath of God would want to appear, then the blood comes and say, Lord, please give them another chance. They don't know what they're doing. Please, we have the Holy Spirit interceding for us. But it's not going to be for long. He's sending people to say, no, what you doing is not good. And then you take the rainbow. What will be the cost? And then we are gonna, if you used it, you promote it, you stay silent about it, you never said anything, we all have a price to pay. And not too long ago, Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery, she had a live, and then she mentioned how the LGBTQ community are graced to build communities. They have a grace to build a community, because when they are together, if they shun them, because I remember I was watching a documentary, and they were showing that community in Jamaica, and how when their families found out that that's the lifestyle they have chosen, and then they kick them out, and then many of them are living under like this bypass, like a highway, and under the highway, where it's dark and sometimes the sewer passes there, that's where they gather together, they live together, they help out each other, and they stick it out with each other. Just like in other countries, they stick together. They don't turn on each other. Not saying, it's a perfect community, but they stick together because they have one common goal. They want to be accepted. And then even though the world may not accept them, but they accept each other. They help out each other. And then some places where they, are more accepting of them, they're able to get into spaces where they can change laws and policies for their community. Many other communities, you could look on the LGBTQ, they have a sense of unity. They have a sense of, yes, we need to look out for each other, because all we got is each other. I've heard other communities say, oh, all we got is each other, but they don't have no unity. They don't look out for each other. But the LGBT community does. You have to give people what's for them. It's not how you doing that, giving that to them. Oh, they this and they that. They form communities, and then when they build their community, they stick together, and then they look for ways to help they look for ways to benefit their community. Other people need to look upon that. But the thing is, with the rainbow, it was originally God's rainbow. And now for years, it has been used to represent the LGBT community, which is not right. That I'm going to stand. This is not right. And then what was the inspiration? Why was this the symbol to be used? That's where I stand. Anyway, that's all I had to say on the situation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.